Your privacy is important to us. This information notice explains what personal data we collect from you and how we use it. If you'd then like more information, contact us. Why do we process your personal information? We process your personal information, including any special categories of personal information, in connection with managing your tenancy. This would also include us dealing with any housing applications that you might make and things such as antisocial behaviour, insurance claims, complaints and appeals. And we process this information either because it's necessary for us to do so in order to manage your tenancy, or because there are laws that allow us or require us to process it. If you didn't give us this information, we wouldn't be able to provide you with a tenancy. Sometimes we process your personal information because, as a business, we have a legitimate interest in doing so. We only do this though when we're confident that you would reasonably expect us to do so. For example, when you help us with surveys that we're undertaking in order for us to improve the service that we give to you. In some instances, we may require your consent in order to process your personal information. If we do, we will make this clear to you and will not process your information unless you consent to us doing so. You will then be given the option to withdraw your consent at any time. What personal information do we process and where do we get it from? Most of the personal information that we process is information that you've given us about you and the people who live with you. This includes things like your name, address, telephone numbers, date of birth, national insurance number, gender and bank account details. We also process special categories of personal information, such as your race or ethnic origin, religion, and information concerning your health or sexual orientation, but we'll only do this where there is a lawful basis for us to do so. For example, where you have consented to us processing your information, where we need to process your information in order to protect your vital interests, or where there are laws that allow us or require us to do so. In addition to this, when we deal with antisocial behaviour cases, we may process information relating to criminal convictions or allegations. Sometimes we process personal information about you that we've been given by other organisations, such as the local authority or the police. This could include, for example, information relating to a housing application, housing benefit claim or support package, or something like antisocial behaviour. The other organisation would only share this information with us though, where either you've given them permission to do so or the law allows them to do so. Who do we share your personal information with? In order to manage your tenancy, we sometimes share your personal information with other people or organisations. This includes contractors working for Trivallis, organisations like the local authority to allow them to process any claim for housing benefit that you might make or to provide a service to you, or the police and other agencies for the purposes of crime prevention or detection. We only do this though if you consent for us to do so, or where there are laws that allow us to do so, or if it's necessary for us to do so in order for us to manage your tenancy. Do we ever transfer your personal information outside of the European Economic Area? Much of the personal information that we process at Trivallis is held electronically, and most of this is held in our offices at Pontypridd. Some of our computer systems store the information off-site though, and when they do, we work closely with the software providers to make sure that the information is stored in accordance with the requirements of the General Data Protection Regulation. No personal information is stored in data centres outside of the European Economic Area. How long do we hold your personal information for? In connection with managing your tenancy, we hold your personal information for a period of 6 years after your tenancy has ended, and usually this is the longest that we will hold any of your personal information for. Information provided by other agencies and relating to the special needs of tenants and records relating to offenders are held only while the tenancy continues, and footage from Trivallis' CCTV cameras is only retained for 42 days. At the end of this time, we'll securely dispose of your personal information. When we have to hold your personal information for longer than this, for example, on some of our computer systems, we look to anonymise it. What rights do you have? You have a number of rights under the General Data Protection Regulation. You have the right to access your personal information that we process about you, and if you believe that the personal information is incorrect or incomplete, to have it corrected or deleted. You have the right in certain circumstances to block the processing of your data and the right to object to some types of processing. You also have the right to lodge a complaint to a supervisory authority, the Information Commissioner's Office for the UK. For more information on individuals' rights, you may wish to visit the Information Commissioner's website.